When my wife once again went to this mysterious party without my permission, and I heard on the news what happened there, I suspected that she might not be pregnant by me. Be me, 35-year-old Mark living in Miami. That gut feeling has been eating at me for months now. Something's happening right in front of me, but can't quite figure it out. Keep pushing the thought away like an idiot. Wife Sarah is 5 months pregnant with what I thought was our first child. Been noticing this growing distance between us. Tell myself it's just the pregnancy hormones. Tell myself she's just tired from carrying the baby. What a fool I was. Thursday night changes everything. Looking back, should have seen it coming miles away. Sarah thinks I'm stuck at some late business meeting. Actually finished my work early. Feeling excited about getting home. Thinking about maybe having one of those rare quiet evenings together. Maybe watch some Netflix or whatever. Pull up to the house. Everything's dark inside. Weird, but figure she's probably napping upstairs. Then notice her car isn't in the driveway. Strange, but whatever. Maybe she went to get groceries. Send her a text? No response. 30 minutes go by. Then an hour. Still nothing but silence. Her phone's going straight to voicemail. I'm not usually the paranoid type, but something about this silence feels wrong. Really wrong. That's when I do something I've never done before. Open her laptop sitting on the kitchen counter. Feel like I'm crossing some invisible line. That moment when you know you're about to find something you can't unsee. First thing that pops up is a group chat. Her friends are all talking about some party. A party I knew nothing about. Messages are full of details about their wild night. Read about Sarah jumping into some pool. Rachel writes, "Thought I'd die laughing, pregnant, and still the life of the party. My pregnant wife at a party I didn't know about. My pregnant wife drinking. My pregnant wife jumping into pools." What the actual fuck? Keep scrolling through these messages. Feel my stomach turning with each new line I read. Rachel writes something that makes my blood run cold. Still can't believe what happened with him. What was she thinking? Him? Who the fuck is him? Can feel my pulse pounding in my ears. Scroll faster through the messages. Then I see a name. David. Some guy I've never heard of. Apparently got a little too close to Sarah that night. Group chat is full of inside jokes and teasing comments. Each one feels like a knife in my gut. My pregnant wife. Partying. Another guy. This can't be real. Start pacing around the living room. Mind racing faster than I can process. Where is she? What the hell is she doing? Why hasn't she said a word about any of this? 2 hours pass like a nightmare. Finally, hear the front door creak open around midnight. Sarah walks in, carrying her designer heels in one hand, phone in the other, has this smug little smile on her face, like she just had the time of her life. The sight of her hits me like a freight train. Everything I just read? Everything I didn't know. Everything I'm about to find out. This is just the beginning. She's way too carefree for someone sneaking back from God knows where. Doesn't even notice me at first, sitting there in the dark. Watching her every move, she kicks off her shoes, stretches like she's just had a spa day. Stand up slowly, trying to keep my voice steady. Where were you? She freezes. That smile vanishes instantly, replaced by something colder, more calculating. Her eyes dart toward the staircase, like she's planning her escape route. Went out with the girls, she says lightly. Like it's the most obvious thing in the world. Didn't you get my text? First mistake? There was no text. We both know it. Take a step closer. Heart pounding so hard I can barely think straight. You didn't text me? In fact, I've been trying to reach you all night. Your phone went straight to voicemail. She stares at me blankly for a moment, then lets out this light laugh, the kind someone gives when they're trying to brush something off. Oh yeah, my battery died. Shrugs and holds up her phone, like that explains everything. Didn't even realize until I was already out. Nods slowly like I'm buying her story. Inside, I'm absolutely boiling. Can't stop thinking about those messages I saw. Need her to keep talking. Need her to dig her own grave deeper. Must have been a good time. Where'd you go? Her eyes flick away for a second too long. See that hesitation, that calculating pause before she answers. Oh, we just went to Rachel's place. A few of us had dinner and hung out for a bit. Forces this fake smile, walks toward the kitchen like the conversation's over, but it's not even close to being done. Rachel's, huh? Lean against the wall, arms crossed, watching her every move. Funny because I heard something else. Something about a party. She stops dead in her tracks. Can practically see the gears turning in her head, trying to figure out how much I know. How much she can still lie about. Oh well, yeah. It was more of a small get-together. You know how Rachel is. Invites a few people over, things get a little loud. No big deal. Can't believe the bullshit coming out of her mouth. Feel the anger rising in my chest. Still need more though. Want to see how far she'll take this charade. So this guy David? The name tastes like poison. Did he have fun at this small get-together too? Her reaction is instant. Spins around, eyes wide with shock. quickly tries to mask it with a fake laugh. David, what are you talking about? There was no David. You're being ridiculous, Mark. Am I? Finally snap. Can't hold back anymore. Because according to your group chat, you were practically swimming with the guy. You didn't just go out with the girls, Sarah. You lied. You've been lying. Color drains from her face. Mask slips for a second. Then just as fast, she puts it back on. This time angrier, more defensive. Oh, so you've been snooping through my phone now? Her voice drips with venom. What, you don't trust me? Is that it? You're going to sit there and act like I'm the bad guy because I went to a party? The way she turns it around on me, like I'm the one who crossed a line, makes my blood boil even more. You were drunk. Take a step closer. Drunk and pregnant. What the hell were you thinking? She scoffs, rolls her eyes like I'm being unreasonable. Oh, please. I had one drink. One. Don't act like I was partying all night. Stare at her. Barely recognize the woman standing in front of me. The lies are unraveling, but she still clings to them, like they're her lifeline. She doesn't even care about what she's done, about how reckless and selfish she's been. Take a deep breath. We're getting a DNA test tomorrow. My voice comes out cold, final. I want to know if the child you're carrying is mine or David's. Her eyes flare with shock. Then, pure fury. Are you serious right now? How dare you accuse me of that? You've completely lost it, Mark. This is insane. Let out a laugh. No humor in it. No, what's insane is how far you're willing to go to keep lying. But I'm done playing this game. We're going for that test first thing in the morning. Sarah just stands there, face hard as stone, jaw clenched tight, tension between us thick enough to cut with a knife. Wait for her next move. But one thing's clear. The truth is finally coming out. Whether she likes it or not, she doesn't move, just stands there frozen, staring at me like I've dropped a nuclear bomb. But the worst part? There's no fear in her eyes. Just pure rage, not regret, not guilt. Just rage, like I had no right to call her out, like I'm the one betraying her. You think I'm cheating on you? Her voice sharp enough to cut glass. I'm carrying your child, Mark? Your child? And this is how you repay me? By throwing around wild accusations because I went to a party? Not having it anymore. Cross the room in 2 long strides, barely containing the fury bubbling inside. It's not just the party, Sarah. It's everything. The lying. The sneaking around. The sudden nights out. Your phone always on silent. Your secret little world that I'm apparently not allowed to be part of. You never told me about this guy, David. Why? She throws her hands up, starts pacing around the room, like she can't believe what's happening. There is no David. Her voice cracks at the edges, but it sounds rehearsed. Too quick, too practiced. God, Mark. He's just some guy who was there. I barely even spoke to him. You're blowing this way out of proportion. Take a deep breath. Try not to let her gaslight me into doubting what I already know. Right. That's why your friends were laughing about it in the group chat. About you and him getting a little too close. So what was it? Just harmless fun? Because that's not how it looked from where I'm standing. Sarah's face twists in frustration. Her eyes narrow like she's calculating her next move. Opens her mouth to fire back. Cut her off before more excuses come out. You know what? I don't care what you say right now. Keep my voice low and steady. You've lied to me enough. Tomorrow we're getting the DNA test. That's final. And if I find out you've been lying about more than just David, I'm done. The silence that follows is suffocating. Sarah's face flushes. Mix of anger and shock. Watch her composure slip for just a moment. There it is. That flicker of something she doesn't want me to see. Guilt? Panic? Can't be sure. But it's enough to tell me I'm not crazy for doubting her. Then in the blink of an eye, she flips the switch, breaks into tears, full-on sobbing, hands covering her face. The whole act, you think I'd do that to you? Chokes out between heaving breaths. You think I'd cheat on you while carrying your baby? What kind of person do you think I am? I'm your wife, Mark. I can't believe this. You don't trust me at all. Just stand there watching her crumble. Something inside me has shifted. Seen this show before. The waterworks. The deflection. Turning the blame on me. This isn't new. Been falling for it for months. Maybe even years. But this time it's not working. Feel nothing but cold resolve. When her sobs die down, she sits on the couch. Looks up at me with red, tear-streaked eyes. Searching my face for any sign of weakness. Playing her last card. Hoping I'll break, but I don't. We'll see, Sarah. My voice like stone. We'll see after the test? She blinks. Clearly didn't expect me to hold my ground. For a second think she might explode again. Instead, she straightens up. wipes her face with the back of her hand. Tears gone just as quickly as they came. Fine. Her voice cold, venomous. If that's what it takes to prove you're being paranoid, then fine. I'll take the damn test. Stands up and storms past me. Slams the bedroom door behind her. Don't follow her. Instead, just sit down, staring at the floor. Head spinning with everything that just went down. The Sarah I knew. The woman I married. She's slipping away. Or maybe she was never really there. Not sure of anything anymore. Mind keeps going back to David. The way her friends talked about it, like it was some joke. Something to laugh off. But there's nothing funny about what's happening here. Feel like I'm trapped in a nightmare. Can't wake up, no matter how much I want to believe her. The pieces aren't adding up. Barely sleep that night. Every time I close my eyes, see her walking through that door, laughing, carefree, like nothing was wrong. The lies, the secrets, the fake tears, and now the looming DNA test. That could blow everything apart. Morning comes, Sarah's already up when I drag myself out of bed. Doesn't say a word as she gets dressed. Don't need her to? We both know what's coming next. This is the moment everything changes. Drive to the clinic is dead silent. No music. No small talk. Just tension thick enough to suffocate us both. In that silence, know one thing for sure. By the end of today, I'll know the truth, one way or another. The clinic feels like a tomb. Cold, sterile, suffocating. Sit side by side in the waiting room. Space between us feels like miles. Sarah scrolls through her phone. Avoiding my eyes, face a perfect mask of indifference. Have no idea what's going on in her head. Honestly, don't care anymore. Just want answers. Nurse calls our names. Sarah stands up without a word. Marches toward the back, like this whole thing is some mundane chore. Something to get over with. But to me, it feels like my entire life is hanging on this moment. Test itself is straightforward. Swab, paperwork, done. Doesn't stop my heart from pounding. Like a drum in my chest. Sign my name on the final form. Glance at Sarah. She's already halfway out the door. Like she couldn't wait to leave. Follow her out to the parking lot. Weight of silence between us crushing. Get in the car. For a moment, neither of us says anything. Have 1,000 questions boiling in my mind. None of them matter until those results come in. Finally, Sarah breaks the suffocating silence. This is ridiculous, Mark. Her voice cold like we're discussing weather. You're going to feel like a complete idiot. When the results come back, and you realize this baby is yours, grip the steering wheel, knuckles turning white. If I feel like an idiot, at least I'll know the truth. She scoffs, shakes her head, lips twisted into bitter smile. You really don't get it, do you? You're destroying our marriage with your paranoia? You should be focusing on our future? On the baby? But no, you're too busy playing detective? Her words hit me, not in the way she wants though. Feel heat of anger rising in my chest. Swallow it down. Truth is, she doesn't even try to defend herself anymore. It's all about turning it back on me, making me feel like the villain, like I'm the one tearing us apart. After everything I've seen, all the lies, the sneaking around, how could she expect me to just sit back? Pretend everything's fine? Don't respond. Don't trust myself to speak without exploding. Drive home in silence instead. Thoughts a tangled mess. Keep replaying the night she came back from that party. That carefree smile. Smell of alcohol? The way her friends laughed about him. About David. The guy who hovers in the background of everything, even though Sarah pretends he's nobody. Get home. Sarah doesn't waste any time. I'm going to lie down. Barely glances at me. Disappears into bedroom. She always does this. Retreats when things get too real. Can't decide if it's fear, guilt, or just plain indifference at this point. Stand in hallway for a moment, staring at closed door. Wonder what the hell I'm doing. Part of me wants to confront her again. Demand the truth. Force her to admit what she's done. But another part, maybe the smarter part, knows that no matter how much I push, she won't crack. Sarah's too good at this game. Go back to her laptop instead. No, I shouldn't. But after everything, can't let it go. Need to know what else she's hiding. If she won't tell me, going to find out myself. Need something concrete this time. Not just vague messages or hints. Want something that will either confirm my worst fears or give me reason to believe her. Open her emails first. Nothing unusual there. Go back to her group chat. Scroll through older messages. Piecing together timeline. That's when I find it. One message buried deep in chat from a few weeks ago after another one of her nights out. Rachel had texted her. So what's going on with David? Are you going to tell him? Tell him what? Heart starts pounding in chest. Scroll through Sarah's reply. Not yet. He's too suspicious right now. I need to wait. What the hell was she waiting for? What wasn't she telling me? Or worse, what was she telling David? Before I can stop myself, click through her recent photos. Don't know what I'm expecting. Maybe pictures from party. Maybe something innocent that I could overanalyze. But what I find makes my blood run cold. Handful of pictures from that night, Sarah looking happy, carefree. But one of them stands out. Photo of her with David, arms around each other, grinning at camera, like it was best night of their lives. In background, someone holding Sarah's shoes, while she'd clearly just jumped into pool. Pregnant. Laughing. Drunk. With another guy's arm around her. Close laptop. Feel like I've been sucker punched. It wasn't just photos or messages. It was everything. The lies, the manipulation, the gaslighting. Can't believe it's come to this? Sarah isn't just playing me. She's playing both of us. Stand up. Start pacing living room. Try to decide what to do. Confront her again? What would it matter? She'd deny it. Twist the story. Cry. Scream. Anything to avoid admitting what I already know. But what hits hardest? What gnaws at pit of my stomach? Is thought that this baby, our baby, might not even be mine. In that moment, realize something. I'm done waiting. Done playing her games. Done hoping for miraculous redemption. The DNA test will tell me what I need to know. And once I have those results, everything will change. House feels eerily silent. After closing Sarah's laptop, that picture of her and David burned into my mind. Their smiles mocking me, haunting me every time I blink. Have all the evidence I need, but still doesn't feel real. There's this moment when you know your life's about to shift in a way you can never come back from. Standing on that edge right now, staring into the abyss, not ready to confront her yet, not without DNA test results in hand, but not going to sit here. Let her keep pretending either. My gut screaming for action. To rip the mask off, force her to face what she's done. That evening, Sarah comes downstairs, acting like nothing happened, asks if I want dinner. In that casual, almost robotic way she's adopted lately, like she's just going through motions of being a wife. Stare at her. Try to remember the woman I fell in love with, the one I thought I'd be starting family with. But all I see now, someone I don't recognize, someone who's been lying to my face for God knows how long. We need to talk. My voice comes out low but steady, words sharper than intended. She freezes. Back to me, standing at counter, pretending to pour water. About what? Doesn't turn around. Voice has that defensive edge again, like she knows exactly what I'm about to say. Already preparing for battle. About David, reply as name hangs in air, like grenade waiting to go off. Glass in her hand clinks against counter. Still won't face me. I already told you, Mark. Says slowly, carefully. There's nothing going on with him. He's just some guy. You're making this into something it's not. Clench my fists. Try to hold back wave of anger, crashing over me. Really? Because it didn't look like nothing. In that picture I found, you two looked pretty cozy. For just friends? Her shoulders stiffen. Finally turns around. Eyes lock onto mine. No surprise there. Just cold, calculated control. You went through my laptop again? Snaps, voice rising. God, Mark. How many times do we have to go through this? I can't believe you don't trust me enough to stop. Cut her off. Voice getting louder now. Done playing this game? Just stop, Sarah. I've seen enough. The lies? The sneaking around. The partying while pregnant? None of it makes sense. You expect me to believe you've been completely innocent through all of this? After everything? Her face tightens, but she doesn't back down. What do you want me to say, Mark? That I'm sorry for going out with my friends? That I should have told you about David? Throws her hands up, pacing kitchen like she's the one wronged. Fine, I should have told you, but I didn't cheat on you. Not that it matters. Since you've already decided I'm the bad guy, let out bitter, hollow laugh. You did cheat on me, Sarah. Maybe not in the way you think. But you've been lying to me for months, hiding things, sneaking off. And now I'm supposed to sit here and believe this baby is mine. Without a shred of doubt? Her eyes flare. For a second think I catch panic, flashing across her face, but recovers quickly, voice hardening. You really think I'd be that stupid? That I'd let some random guy come between us? While I'm pregnant? God, Mark, you're paranoid. This whole thing is in your head. Hands shaking now. Feel last thread of control slipping away. Then why are we waiting for a DNA test, Sarah? Why didn't you tell me about him from start? If there was nothing going on, why hide it? Her silence tells everything. Looks down at floor, arms crossed tight over chest, lips pressed together, like she's biting back what she really wants to say. In that moment, no. She's never going to admit it, never going to come clean. Too far into her web of lies. Lean against counter, staring at floor. Weight of it all crushing down? I'm not doing this anymore. Say it quietly, more to myself than her. What's that supposed to mean? She snaps, voice sharp as glass. Look up. Meet her cold, angry eyes. It means this marriage is over, Sarah. Whether that baby's mine or not. I can't keep doing this. The lying, the manipulation, the constant gaslighting. I'm done. Her expression shifts instantly. Anger melts away, replaced by something haven't seen in a long time. Desperation. Takes step toward me. Reaches out like trying to close distance. Don't move an inch. Mark, wait. Don't do this. She pleads, voice softer now, almost trembling. We're having a baby. You can't just walk away. Shake my head. Exhaustion finally sinking in. I can't stay, Sarah. Not like this. I'll be there for the baby if it's mine. But we're done. For first time in months, Sarah doesn't have quick comeback. Stands there frozen, staring with wide, unblinking eyes, like she can't process what's happening. For brief second wonder if she'll finally drop the act, if she'll beg me to stay, to fix things. But she doesn't. Instead, turns on heel, storms upstairs without another word, leaving me standing alone in kitchen, surrounded by wreckage of our marriage. That's when it hits me. No matter what DNA test says, this relationship already dead. Truth been rotting between us. For far too long. Now there's no going back. Sound of Sarah's footsteps. Pounding upstairs. Each step echoes through house. Reminder of how far we've fallen. Stay in kitchen for what feels like hours. Leaning against counter. Staring blankly at spot where we argued. Nothing left to say. She's retreated to bedroom. Like she always does. Leaving me in rubble of everything she destroyed. In that silence, something inside me shifts. Anger still there. Heartbreak too. But now joined by new feeling. Clarity. Done waiting for her to change. Done hoping she'll confess. Done waiting for shred of remorse. No matter what DNA test reveals. Not letting her keep pulling me down. Make my decision. Walk upstairs. Air heavy with finality. Door to bedroom shut. Don't care anymore. Knock once. Push it open without waiting for answer. Sarah sitting on edge of bed. Back to me. Staring at wall. Doesn't even flinch when enter. We need to talk about what happens next. Keep voice calm, almost cold. What do you mean what happens next? Her voice flat, drained of emotion. Mean we need to figure out what to do. While we wait for results, I'm moving out. Can't stay here anymore. That gets her attention. Turns around, eyes wide with disbelief. You're what? Shock in her voice real this time. Hadn't expected me to take it this far. Mark, you can't just walk away. We're about to have a baby. Cross arms. Try keeping voice steady. You think I don't know that? But us. We're broken, Sarah. Been broken for a long time. Can't keep pretending everything's fine. Not after everything that's happened. Her eyes narrow. Just like that, desperation fades. Replaced by same cold defensive mask. Been wearing for months. So you're just going to bail? Leave me to deal with everything on my own? Real classy, Mark. Shake head. Refuse to let her bait me. I'm not bailing. I'm giving us space. I'll be there for the baby if it's mine. But I can't live in this house with you anymore. Not with all the lies. The secrets. The way you've been manipulating me. Sarah stands up, crosses room to stand inches from me, eyes blazing with anger. Manipulating you? She hisses words. You've been paranoid and controlling for months, Mark. You're the one who's been spying on me, invading my privacy, and now you're running away because you don't like what you found. Stay silent. Let her words wash over me, like she can't help herself. Every time feels cornered. Flips the script, making me out to be bad guy. Not falling for it anymore? I'm not running. Say firmly, I'm protecting myself. And honestly, Sarah, think you need to look in mirror. Ask yourself why we're even at this point. She crosses arms, glares with all venom she can muster. Oh, don't you dare put this all on me. You're the one who's walking away. You're the one throwing away our family. Let out bitter laugh. Shake head. Our family, Sarah? You've been keeping things from me for months. You hid that party. You hid David. And now you expect me to just act like nothing's wrong? That's not family. That's betrayal. For a moment, her face softens. Just flicker of something. Maybe regret. Maybe tiniest crack in her armor. But just as quickly, she shuts it down, turns away, walks to window. Fine, she says quietly, back still to me. If that's what you want, then go. Leave. But don't come crying back. When you realize you're wrong, watch her stand there, staring out window, like none of this matters. Like everything we built means nothing. Maybe it does to her. Not sure anymore. I'll get my things tomorrow. Keep voice hard, and I'll be in touch. Once test results come back. She doesn't respond, just stands there motionless, like she's already decided. This conversation over. In way it is. We both know it. Leave room. Close door behind me. Finality echoes through house. This is it. End of everything thought we had. End of marriage. Been crumbling longer than realized. That night sleep on couch. Don't bother going back upstairs. Don't want to see her. Don't want to be in same room. Mind racing. Torn between anger, grief, and something didn't expect. Relief. As painful as it is, this break feels like first real step. Taken in months. Finally doing something for myself. Finally drawing line. Next morning pack bag. Leave house without saying goodbye. Sarah doesn't come downstairs to stop me. Not sure if expected her to. But when she doesn't, confirms what already knew. This is over. Fine place to stay at Mike's house. Somewhere can breathe. Without Sarah's presence looming. Now just waiting game. Waiting for DNA results. Waiting to see if baby mine. Waiting to see if forced to have her in life forever. Or if can finally be free of lies. But no matter what results say, one thing's certain. Won't be coming back to her. That chapter of life closed. Waiting is unbearable. Every minute feels like eternity, stuck in cruel limbo. Neither moving forward nor backward. Left Sarah. Packed things. Set up at Mike's place. But doesn't feel real yet. Life feels paused. Waiting for one thing. That will either shatter me completely or somehow set me free. The DNA test. Hanging overhead every second of every day. Try to distract myself. Dive into work. Hit gym. Hang with Mike and his girlfriend. But no matter what do, mind always circles back. To question that keeps gnawing. Like itch can't scratch. Is this baby mine? Mike good about giving space. But one night, we sit down with couple beers. He asks question been dreading. So what happens if baby's not yours? Doesn't look at me. Just stares into bottle. Like already knows how loaded question is. Take long sip of drink. Try avoiding answer at first. But no point dodging it. I don't know, man. Voice comes out quieter than intended. Part of me hoping it's not. That way can just walk away from her. But then it's a kid, you know? Don't want to abandon my own kid. Mike nods. Doesn't say anything for a moment. Then glances at me. Brow furrowed. And if it's yours? So wait. Lean back on couch. Stare at ceiling. If it's mine, I'll take care of baby. Won't stay with Sarah though. That's over. But won't abandon kid? Can't. Words feel heavy. Like bracing for something. Not ready for, don't want to be tied to her forever. Don't want her manipulation, her lies, to be constant shadow in life. But if that child mine, can't turn back. Next few days blur together, routine of waiting, overthinking, trying not to let emotions swallow whole. Haven't heard from Sarah since left. Don't reach out. No point. Both no test results. Will be final word. Then one morning, sitting in Mike's kitchen, staring blankly at coffee. Phone buzzes. Screen lights up. Test results available. Stomach drops. Stare at message for full minute. Before can even bring myself to unlock phone. This is it. Moment that will decide everything. My future. My connection to Sarah. The child she's carrying. All boils down to this. With shaking hands. Click link to view results. Screen loads slowly. Or maybe just feels that way because heart pounding so loud. Can barely hear myself think. Then there it is. Answer been waiting for. 0% probability of paternity. Blink. Staring at words. Try to make sense of them. Mind racing. Emotions tangled mess. Relief. Anger. Shock. Disbelief. Baby isn't mine. Truth hits like tidal wave, sweeping away everything in path. The baby, child been preparing to care for, to raise, to take responsibility for. Isn't mine? David's face flashes through mind. Suddenly, all pieces click together. She'd been lying from start. All her excuses. Her denials. The fake tears. All part of her twisted game. She knew. She knew baby wasn't mine. Kept it from me. Trying to trap me in this nightmare. Stand up! Legs unsteady. Anger rising in chest like wildfire. Want to scream! Break something. Storm over to Sarah's house. Confront her with truth. Throw it in her face. Demand answers. How could she do this? How could she lie for so long? Knowing I was preparing to be father. Grab phone. Hand still shaking. Dial her number. She picks up after few rings. Voice cold. Distant. Like hadn't been expecting hear from me. What do you want, Mark? Take deep breath. Voice low. Trembling with anger. Trying to keep in check. I got the results, Sarah. Pause on other end. Can almost hear her calculating. Trying figure out how much I know. And you lied. Snap, unable hold it any longer. Baby isn't mine, Sarah. You've known this whole time, haven't you? Silence. For moment think she hung up. Then finally speaks, voice cold and flat. I didn't know for sure. Let out bitter laugh, shake head in disbelief. You've known, Sarah. You've known, and you let me believe it was mine. Let me go through hell thinking I was about to be father, when all along it was someone else's kid. David's kid. Another silence. This one feels different, like she doesn't care anymore. So what? You've got your answer now? What do you want me to say, Mark? I made a mistake. It happened. Move on. Her words hit like punch to gut. Complete lack of remorse. Way she brushes it off. Like it's nothing. Like I'm nothing. Too much. Too cold. Too cruel. A mistake? Repeat, voice shaking. You lied to me, Sarah. You lied about everything. And now you expect me to just move on? Yeah. Her voice ice cold. I do. What's done is done? It's not like you're sticking around anyway. My grip tightens on phone. Pulse pounding in ears. Never felt so angry. So betrayed. At that moment, no, I'm done. Not just with Sarah, but with entire twisted mess. You're right, Sarah. My voice hard. I'm not sticking around. You can go build your life with David. I want nothing to do with either of you. We're done. Before she can respond, hang up. Throw phone down on table. Hands still trembling with rage. It's over. Finally, truly over. Relief is there? Just beneath surface, but buried under mountain of betrayal, anger and sadness. Not just walking away from toxic marriage, walking away from future thought was mine. Can finally start moving forward. On own terms, Sarah burned everything to ground, but won't be stuck in ashes, going to rebuild without her lies, without her manipulation, without her. Hanging up phone felt like cutting last thread, tethering me to Sarah. Strange hollow feeling, like just threw away everything. Thought life would be, but same time feeling lighter, free. Freedom doesn't come without scars though. Sit there staring at phone, mind still spinning. All plans we made. Baby's nursery started putting together. Future thought was solid. All crumbled in instant. Sarah's betrayal left me wrecked, but no going back. Not now. Not ever. Can't stop thinking about way she responded. On phone, no apology, no regret. Didn't even care been caught. Just done. Just like that. Fact she could treat something so monumental as mistake to brush off, something to just move on from, leaves bitter taste in mouth. Truth is, she been like this long time. Cold. Manipulative. Always turning things around. So I was one questioning myself. Been living in fog. Thinking maybe things would get better. That could fix what was broken. But now no fog. No illusions. Truth hit hard. See everything clearly. For first time in months. Not going to be father. Not to that child. Not going to waste another second on Sarah. Next few days feel like slow steps. Toward rebuilding myself. Stay at Mike's. Not ready return to life known. But begin putting pieces together. Cancel everything tied to Sarah. Bank accounts. Bills. Everything we shared. No point holding on to anything anymore. Have to start fresh. One morning, Mike and I sitting outside on his porch, drinking coffee. One of those quiet moments, kind of silence that isn't heavy, but peaceful, air crisp, kind of September morning. Makes you feel like things about to change. New season coming. For first time, feel ready to embrace it. How you feeling? Mike asks, voice careful but curious. Been watching me these past days, giving space, but also keeping me grounded. Take deep breath, stare out at street. Watch leaves start to change color. Better, admit quietly. It's weird, you know. Thought I'd be more broken after all this. But I'm not. I'm pissed, yeah. But feels like I can breathe again. Mike nods. That's the thing about being stuck in toxic situation. Don't realize how much it's suffocating you. Until you get out, he's right. Been suffocating for so long, trapped in Sarah's lies and manipulation, clinging to relationship that was dead, long before found out about David, but now have space. Clarity. With that comes something else. Hadn't expected. Hope, for first time in months, feel like can actually move forward. Future imagined with Sarah gone sure, but there's still future out there. One that doesn't involve her lies, her manipulation, her cruelty. Can rebuild. Few days later, go back to house for last time. Mike comes with me to help pack rest of stuff. Walking into place feels strange. This had been my home. Place thought would raise child. Now just shell, empty and cold. Air feels heavy with memories. All arguments, lies, betrayal. But no sadness left in me. Just quiet resolve. Pack up last few things. Clothes, books, some personal items. Hadn't taken first time. Nursery still set up. Untouched since started putting it together. Stand in doorway for moment. Staring at crib. Walls we'd painted. Stuffed animals bought in preparation for child. That wasn't even mine. Take deep breath. Close door behind me. No need to linger. That chapter over. Loading last box into car. Mike claps me on shoulder. You ready for what's next? He asks with grin. Always the optimist. Smile. First genuine one felt in long time. Yeah. Say feeling weight of everything. Lift just little more. I'm ready. Driving away from house. Don't look back. Old life built with Sarah gone, but not grieving it anymore. Instead, focus on road ahead. Something freeing and unknown. Something haven't felt in months. Don't have all answers yet, but for first time, don't need them. In weeks that follow, start to rebuild myself in ways hadn't expected. Reconnect with old friends. Throw myself into work. Even start thinking about things. Want for own future. Not future Sarah laid out, but one could build for myself. One where could be happy again. Did learn something from all this. Something didn't see coming at beginning. Sometimes people closest to you are ones who can hurt you most, but when they show you who they really are, have to believe them. Can't stay in relationship built on lies, hoping it'll change, hoping things will get better. Have to walk away, even if it hurts, because staying, that's what destroys you. If had any advice for anyone going through what went through, it's this. Trust your gut. Don't ignore red flags. Don't let someone else dictate your self-worth. Most of all, don't be afraid to let go. When you realize truth, there's life on other side. Better life, Sarah and David. They can have each other. Done with that mess. As for me, moving on. Not easy, but necessary. For first time in long time can see future. We're not stuck in someone else's lies future. That's mine. And that's everything.